Vanipedia and your success. As most of you know, I do service called Gita Coaching since the year 2000. Now I'm in a phase when I would like this service to raise to a more spiritual and a higher quality level. Coaching is also present, as you know, in the world of business, professional world, and I was using various tools while doing Gita coaching, various professional tools. But now I want to base it more on Srila Prabhupada's books. As we study Srila Prabhupada's books, we can see that Srila Prabhupada offers many success tools. And I would like that Gita coaching is much more Shastra based. Some devotees had doubts whether Gita coaching is a new age or bogus, etc. Now I think that all the doubts will be dissipated when they see that it is Shastra based or based on the teachings of our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada. Vanipedia is an online encyclopedia of Srila Prabhupada's teachings. Vanipedia is a website, but it is much more than a website. In 2012, I spent 3 weeks with Vishnumurti Prabhu, who is the founder and developer of Vanipedia. And recently I realized how much he is an instrument in Krishna's hands. Practically, he does not have his own life. Minimum for the past 8 years. I don't know what he did previous to that. He is completely surrendered to glorifying Srila Prabhupada's words and promoting Srila Prabhupada's words. Vanipedia is an incredible project. When you open www.vanipedia.org, at the top you will see a title link, what is new in Vanipedia. When you open that link, you can see all that is there in Vanipedia right now. And you can see that it is so rich. Devotees worked for 8 years and created 70,000 thematic categories of quotes. Categories are based on various phrases, expressions and words that Srila Prabhupada uses. If you have any problem, Vanipedia can help you out. And I can help you to be helped by Vanipedia as a coach. When you take out the quotes which we agree are relevant for you, I can help you how to apply them in your life. This kind of assistance can be called Vani coaching. Gita coaching was based on the Bhagavad Gita as it is and other Srila Prabhupada's teachings, but Vani coaching is a step up in relation to Gita coaching, in comparison to Gita coaching. This is closely related to a devotee care seminar that one Maharaj was teaching around Europe, how to take care of devotees, how to have good mentors or counselors, how to have good spiritual guides. So we want to take care of devotees by connecting them with Srila Prabhupada, and basically who will be the counselor, who will be the coach, who will be the mentor, who will be the spiritual guide. We want to bring people to the lotus feet of Mahacoach, and that is Srila Prabhupada. And we are mini coaches or assistant coaches who bring people to Srila Prabhupada so he can guide them. We facilitate this process, and this is our coaching. This is our spiritual coaching. Vanipedia project has been going on for 8 years. When I visited Vishnumurti Prabhu 3 years ago, at that time I could not see close relationship between Vanipedia, devotee care, and helping devotees succeed. Last few weeks I finally woke up, and you are the witness of my awakening. I think I was sleeping for 3 years, and my dear friend Vishnumurti Prabhu was terribly patient. So if you want to be a part of this wonderful project, I invite you to contact me for Vaniseva. Vaniseva is a super service of Srila Prabhupada's instructions. Vaniseva is a very contagious service. With just a little time to translate a short video, 5 to 10 minutes, you can do a great service and acquire a great benefit for yourself and for others. There are many other services that one can do for Vanipedia. I have links where you can get information about them. Vanipedia is online and it has several petals. One of them is called Vaniversity, a future online university which will be created based on Vanipedia. It will have educational and training materials for various learning needs. There is an anecdote that illustrates how Vanipedia goes beyond the internet. One student in South Africa studied Vanipedia. She also had a course at her university about the Indian caste system. So she looked for information on the internet and she came across Vanipedia. Vanipedia is made in such a way that often you may get a Vanipedia link if you look for things related to spirituality or India. So she got a Vanipedia link and started to read about Varnashram system. After reading it, she realized that her professor doesn't know what is a caste system. He was teaching about the caste system for the past 20 years. So she printed out quotes about the Varnashram from Vanipedia and gave it to her teacher. And the teacher said, "Oh, for so many years I had no idea what is a caste system. This is wonderful. Thank you very much. Now I know the real meaning of the Indian caste system." So Vanipedia will go beyond the internet. Now it is very much present on the internet. As far as I understand, the main purpose of Vanipedia is to create an opportunity for Srila Prabhupada to preach intensely on the internet and beyond. With video clips with 70,000 categories, with all the books and lectures and letters and conversations stored there, everything is there, all of his teachings. We are all grateful to Srila Prabhupada because he and his representatives saved us. Our gurus are his bona fide representatives. They follow in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, but Srila Prabhupada is our grandfather guru, and we want to have a relation with him too. We have a relation to him through his representatives, and also through his Vani, we can also have a relation to him. Everyone will have an enormous benefit if he strengthens his relation with Srila Prabhupada. Vanipedia enables or facilitates this connection. Constant meditation. Many of us probably read books on success, on philosophy, on India, on Hinduism, on psychology, and then we become fascinated by some author and maybe quote him when we preach. But what we want is a link to Parampara, to the cyclic succession. When we do life coaching, we want to have behind us the whole Parampara. To have Srila Prabhupada behind and Vanipedia behind and all these instructions. To have tools from his books, not from the books of authors whose goodness is mixed with passion and ignorance. Srila Prabhupada's goodness is not mixed with passion and ignorance. Therefore, it is superior, and it is better that he is our Maha Coach and that he is our main success teacher. Srila Prabhupada is the best success teacher on the planet. There are devotees that I know who are professionals. For example, Govindananda Prabhu is becoming active in the professional world. He started an institute for the development of human values in Zagreb, Croatia, and he will work with people to whom he cannot speak always directly about Krishna. But he can use Srila Prabhupada's teachings and present them in such a way that people can start listening to Srila Prabhupada's expressions, his phrases, his stories, his words, and that slowly Srila Prabhupada enters their life. Although at first they will not be aware of it until they start to get his books, listen to his lectures, etc. One great success model in Srila Prabhupada's books are the three modes of nature. If you want a success model from the Shastra, study the three modes. In first and second guna, you will find most people, namely in ignorance and passion, and here and there you will find some goodness in the material society. So if you want to elevate people to the platform of goodness, we have a model of the three modes. In the 14th, 17th and 18th chapters of the Bhagavad Gita and many other chapters of the Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita that mention the modes of material nature. Bhagavatam is also full of instructions for success. So modes of nature are a simple success model. If you want success, enter goodness. Regarding Vanipedia and usage of Vanipedia, I can personally teach you how to explore Vanipedia if you meet me or contact me via internet. I have a Facebook page called Vani Seva. 2 words, Vani Seva. And my Gmail is vaniseva16@gmail.com. If you go to Vanipedia website, there are manuals and guidelines and many things you can learn simply by using it more and more and reading the guidelines in tutorials and manuals. There are a few tricks though. For example, if you put a star at the end of the root of the word, then you get all the words with that root. e.g. devot with a star, and you get all the quotes with devotee, devotion, devotional, devoted that have devot in the root. Also, if you put quotation marks, you are narrowing down the search. For example, pure devotion in quotation marks. There are many such instructions on the Vanipedia website, and you can get help how to explore it and how to search. Someone may think that looking for quotes is boring, but actually these are the words of Acharyas. This is pure gold. These are the words of Srila Prabhupada. How many books can Sankirtan devotee distribute? Harinamananda Prabhu sometimes distributed 1,000 books a day, or 30 sets. And how many people can Vanipedia reach every day on the internet? How many people are on the Facebook every day? How many of you are on the Facebook every day? How many people are on YouTube every day? Practically the whole world is on the internet. So what is important is that we allow people to get in touch with Vani or with instructions. Vishnumurti Prabhu said that with Vanipedia we are building a Vani temple. In Mayapur we are building the temple of Vedic planetarium, that is a Vapu temple, and Vani temple is Vanipedia. 17,000 categories. Do you know how much work it is? 8 years of painstaking work. Few hundred devotees from all over the world, and Vishnumurti Prabhu alone pushes, explains how to do things. People are coming and going. He and his wife, who maintains everything financially with the Bhaktivedanta Library Services sales, Srimati Lakshmi Priya from Slovakia, she lives a very austere life, and she is more strict than many brahmacharis I know. They are an incredible devotional married couple. They invested so much so the people can get Srila Prabhupada's association. Vanipedia is a big-time glorification of Srila Prabhupada. This is real putting Srila Prabhupada in the center. Vishnumurti Prabhu is a member of the GBC Prabhupada Position Committee. This is a GBC committee meant to ensure that Srila Prabhupada always remains the greatest Acharya in our movement. That does not mean to undermine the value of his followers, but it means that everyone is put in his own right position. We are very fortunate to be in Krishna consciousness. On the other hand, if you take a realistic look, we are very unfortunate. Why? Because we don't utilize what is given to us. We chant inattentively. We don't read. How many of you don't read? Raise your hands. How many of you read? Everyone else. Oh, there are those who neither read nor not read, because they didn't raise their hand in either case. There is so much nectar in Srila Prabhupada's books, but when we start to read, we fall asleep or feel sleepy. When we read some self-help book, we say, "Wow, Akrura, this is so good." And then I say, "Oh, this is also in Srila Prabhupada's books." "Oh, really? Where?" Well, go to Vanipedia and make a search. So Vanipedia is a great favor given to us so we can make a better advancement and then attract many people to read. I now consider myself to be a part of the Vanipedia team. We want that Vanipedia becomes a #1 spiritual site on the internet, and that more and more people read Vanipedia, and that its position is higher and higher on Google. Vanipedia has Vani quotes. This is where you can look for quotes, and it has 17,000 categories. There is also a Vani source. These are all books or lectures or letters and all conversations. There is Vaniversity, still to be developed. There is Vanikshari, Vani Dictionary. There you will find the meaning of all the Sanskrit and Bengali words from Srila Prabhupada's teachings. Then we have Vanimedia. There is a Vanimedia Mayapur YouTube channel with video clips. This is another big project which you can join. Global multilingual family of Srila Prabhupada servants, Vani Sevakas. We translate short parts of Srila Prabhupada's lectures in all languages of the world. At the YouTube video, you may see a stream of Srila Prabhupada's photos, hear his voice, and read the subtitle in your own language. So you can translate those in your own local language from English and have enormous benefit for yourself and for others. We are looking for thousands of translators. Many languages have been translated already. You may find the languages on the left-hand side menu on the Vanipedia page. Some languages have completed 1,080 videos, but many others need to be translated. To start with, the goal for each language is 1,080 videos. I am also taking part in translating, as I was also translating Srila Prabhupada's books before for 6 years. Whoever can translate, I invite you to contact me or Vishnumurti Prabhu, and he can train you. There is a www.dotsub.com website, which is very simple to use and where you can translate online and create subtitles. Many devotees all around the world are engaged in this project. For example, Bhakta Peter from Budapest is a world champion in canoe, and he is also engaged in translating videos into Hungarian language. Can you imagine? He is now engaged in Vani Seva, and he is very enthusiastic. Very nice devotee, always helpful in many ways to devotees in Budapest. So this is a great opportunity. If you spend time on the internet anyway, my request to you is to please spend time on Vanipedia. You will never regret it, because in there you will find Srila Prabhupada's instructions. Vishnumurti Prabhu always sends fresh news. All the time new people join. He gives numbers how many videos are being translated. He says we are still constructing a house. It is a construction site. And actually we are building a Vani temple. I ask him what happens after that, after we finish. What happens when we have all the quotes and we have all the categories completed? What then? How can we use this for Vani coaching? How can we use this to help people? I must admit that my main interest in Vanipedia was how to use it for Vani coaching, helping devotees succeed. So we will work on developing this more and more. I am fascinated with the number of translated videos, but I would like to see numbers of people whose lives were transformed by Vanipedia and Vaniseva, and who completely changed their character based on using Vanipedia. Vishnumurti Prabhu does not see himself as the boss, and he says everyone should be engaged in this, the whole world. His enthusiasm is so great that he thinks that every devotee should be engaged in Vaniseva, at least in some way, and I fully agree. Apart from doing service for the Vanipedia website, engaging in translation, compiling, creating pages, promotion, etc., Vaniseva is also book distribution, also book production, and other services related to Srila Prabhupada's Vani. So there are so many services. You can use your knowledge about marketing. You can share links from Vanipedia. We have leaflets. One is 64 ways how to chant Hare Krishna. We also have them online on the Vanipedia website. You can print them out. Then 60 ways how to read Srila Prabhupada's books. And all these instructions are taken from Srila Prabhupada's teachings. Vishnumurti Prabhu is one of the happiest devotees on the planet that I know. And I encounter many devotees, both old and young. He is with Srila Prabhupada non-stop, whole day. He has such a wonderful vision. I was so fascinated by him that we made many hours of interviews a few years ago. And most of it is transcribed and published at www.dandavats.com. But now he is editing it and we are making it much nicer, and it will be ready for publication. When I visited him for 3 weeks, he wanted to convert me completely. He didn't succeed then, but now he did. To convert me to become a Vani fanatic. He wanted to inject in me Vani virus so that I can get Vani mania or Vani schizophrenia, becoming mad after Vani after Srila Prabhupada's instructions. I will tell you now what happened to me when I stayed at his apartment 3 years ago. His home is not an ordinary home, believe me. He gave me a nice room and a good internet connection. That is important when you give me a room. He gave me a task to make a Vani article, which I never finished. He would like that I write articles. I do write short articles, but he wants me to take Srila Prabhupada's quotes and connect them, etc. Recently he asked me to work on the article Secret of Success, based on the same category in Vani quotes. At the moment I don't feel qualified to write Vani articles, but I'm trying to do other kinds of Vani Seva, and hopefully in the future I will be able to write those articles. So when I visited him, we spoke a lot about Vanipedia and we recorded it. I asked him many questions and he has an amazing vision. Krishna has given him a completely clear vision how Vani can go everywhere inside and outside of ISKCON. You can clearly see how he is an instrument of something greater. Crystal clear vision for the whole development of Vanipedia, for the building of the Vani temple. Everything planned. So what happened to me when I stayed there? In my life, I had a dream of Srila Prabhupada only 2 times. First time it was at the beginning of the 80s when I joined. I had a dream of Srila Prabhupada dancing before I have ever seen his video and ever seen him dancing. Until that time, I only heard Srila Prabhupada. I heard his tapes. I haven't seen him dancing on the video. And later when I had seen the video, his dancing was the same as I have seen in my dream. It was relaxed, like you can see in an old video from San Francisco in the 60s, when he was chanting with early devotees and the hippies. So that was my first dream of Srila Prabhupada. And my second dream was at Vishnumurti Prabhu's apartment. He lives in Radhadesh guest house building. So I had a dream of Srila Prabhupada's Murti, which was all cracked. And then this Murti turned into Srila Prabhupada, who was telling me something, but I couldn't hear what he said. I didn't get any clear sentence, any clear instruction from Srila Prabhupada, but when I woke up, I had a clear feeling that I'm neglecting Srila Prabhupada. Although every day I read his quotes and use them and work with them and follow instructions, etc., but still it's not enough. I had a feeling that I have to study more and deeper, study every his word very carefully, to read more, and to serve his instructions better. How many of you have a nice experience with reading aloud Srila Prabhupada's books for an hour or two? I recommend you try it. Try reading Srila Prabhupada's books or other teachings aloud. It's a completely different experience when you hear what you read. It's a wonderful experience. Just sit and read aloud. In order to do this, you need goodness. You need not to fall asleep. Your food well digested. You need a peaceful place where no one will interrupt you for an hour or two. Turn off your mobile phone, turn off your computer, and if you read on the computer, then look only at the page with his words. To be absorbed in Vani, you need to be in the mode of goodness. And this is a very wonderful experience. So you're a devotee, you chant japa, you honor prasadam every day, 2 or 3 times, you dance in kirtan with enthusiasm, you worship your deities at home or at a temple, but every one of us probably reads very little, or most of us. So why we should read? Because knowledge is mercy in the form of words. We all want mercy in the form of Mahaprasadam, or Mahagarland, or Guru's socks. Yesterday one devotee told me that another devotee cooked the socks of a famous book distributor and drank it as a tea. I don't know if this devotee became an enthusiastic book distributor, but he was very satisfied when he drank the tea. So mercy are socks, mercy is dust of the lotus feet of devotees, and especially prasadam is a great mercy. But knowledge, transcendental knowledge, is also a great mercy. So my request is, please read either printed version or online. Nowadays you may read on your phone. There is a database for Android. Most of the database is there. Instead of looking up the messages, you can read database a little. Everywhere you can get Srila Prabhupada's instructions. There is an online database too, but I highly recommend Vanipedia as its structure facilitates reading and thematic or topical study very much. This is a part 1 and part 2 coming soon. Thank you for listening. Hare Krishna.